Oromos are the indigenous people of East Africa, located predominantly in Ethiopia, but they are also part of Kenya as well as Somalia and other parts of the Horn of Africa. Oromia is located in the center of Ethiopia. The current capital city is also a capital city of Oromia. Even though Ethiopia has 82 ethnic groups, Oromo make up half of the Ethiopian population. What makes Oromo very unique is they have their own faith and they have their own God and the way they worship.
What's up, family? This is your man, not your boy, Go Black to Africa. So I am here with my friend, my guide, that has brought me into a very interesting place that many of you all, especially there in America, have been interested in, believe in the Black God. Here in Ethiopia, what's the name of the area we're in right now?
Bishoftu town, we're Bishoftu cities, and we are by the Lake Hora now.
Okay. And you were sharing with me and brought me out here because you knew I was interested in the Ethiopian Orthodox, and then you shared with me some other different groups and things like that. But you said the Oromo, they believe in, and would you call it Black God? How do they call it Black God?
Waka Guracha.
Okay.
Waka Guracha.
Waka Guracha.
Waka Guracha.
Which means?
Which means Black God.
Black God.
Yes.
And so we have here our friend here. Please introduce him.
Bisrat. Bisrat.
Bisrat is his name.
Yeah, Bisrat is
okay.
his name.
How is he affiliated with the Oromo?
He's a Oromo himself.
Yeah.
Related to the king's family.
To the king's family.
King's family. Salale. So his mother is from Salale. It's a village name. It's a small town area where he was grown and born up.
Okay, my first question to him is the Oromo. Is this a religion or is this a belief system? Please share with us, how long has this been around about the Black God?
Okay. ይሄ ዋጋ ጉራቻ ማለት ወይም እሬቻ ስነ ስርዓት መቼ እንደጀመረ ስንት አመት እንደቆየ ምን ያህል ጊዜ እንደነበር ታውቋል?
እሱን እንደዚሁ ባላቀው እንኳን ከበፊት የመጣ ነው ከአጽዎቹ ጀምሮ የመጣ በዓል ነው።
He says this ceremony, the Recha ceremony and the Black God history, it's before the Azeochu. Azeochu means the emperors, before the emperors.
Okay.
It started before the emperors.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
ናጽ ሚኒሊክ ናጽ ቴዎድሮስ ከዛ በኋላ በኃይለ ሥላሴ ጊዜ በሸንቁጤ ዘመንም ያለ በዓል ነው።
During the age of Minilik, also the age of Haile Selassie, the ceremony was there.
So it's been around for how many years? Thousands?
በሺህ አመታቶች ይቆጠራል ወይስ በስንት አመታቶች ይቆጠራል? ቢገመት
ወደዛ ውስጥ ይገባል።
Over 2000 years.
2000 years.
Yes.
Okay. You can tell him to turn a little bit towards the camera.
ወደሱ እያየ.
Yes. Okay. The Black God. How do you say it again? The name?
Waka Guracha.
Waka Guracha. Waka Guracha. Why do they say God is black?
ብዙ ሰዎች አሁን እግዚአብሔር ነጭ እንደሆነ ነው የሚያስቡት። ግን ኦሮሞ ለምንድን ነው ዋቃ ጉራቻ የሚለው?
ዋቃ ጉራቻ የተባለበት ሚስጥሩ ምንድነው ብላችሁ ብትሉ የጥቁሮች አፍሪካ መሰብሰቢያ በሐረቦችም ብትሄድ በሙስሊሙ መንገድ ስትሄድ የመጀመሪያ ሰላትን አዛን ያለው ቢላል ኢትዮጵያዊ ነው እና ከዛ አንስቶ ነው የጥቁሮች አምላክ ብለን የምንለው በኦሮሞ ሴራ ማለት ነው።
Okay. So before anyone starts before starting talking about the religion in the black in East Africa and also in the Middle East, they took our so the black one we were the one who sit under the shade. So even the Middle East calls the one they sit under with the camel, they sit on the shade of the sand. So when the Blal comes to Ethiopia and he saw that the Oromo sits next to the shed, and then the shed then he come to this man and ask us, why do you sit next to the trees, and then ask what do you do with the grass? በሳር ነው መሰለኝ የዛን ሰዓት
በሳር
የሚቀመጠውም በሳር ነው
አሁንም በሳር ነው
yes always it has to be green area where they sit to worship this black god, and then the god is black so that because you can see the god while you are sitting on the shade of the trees.
Okay, so sitting underneath the trees, in the shade, you would see God, or
you see the God spiritually.
You see God spiritually.
Yes, more than anyone seen it.
So why is it that he's black?
ለምን ጥቁር ሆነ ብለህ ታስበው ታውቃለህ? ለምንድን ነው ጥቁር የሚባለው?
ይሄ ደግሞ ጥቁር ተብሎ ሊባል የቻለበት ምክንያት አንደኛ ኢትዮጵያ ከተፈጥሮም ሆነ በአፍሪካ ዙሪያ እኛ ጥቁሮች ነን ነው ብለን የምናምነው።
Okay. We believe it's black because in Ethiopia, entire Africa, we are spiritually we believe on a black.
Okay.
Things happen for us in through black. When you see the mountains in the down, when you see from far away you see them blue, and then when you are closer they are black. So the God is there around.
The mountains.
The mountains.
Okay, and as far as the Oromo people are concerned, is this a religion? I mean, do they have like a book they follow? Do they have a building they go to worship? What is it that they, because it's a huge, like thousands and tens of thousands of people who's affiliated in this.
Over 40 million people.
Over 40 million people. Okay, 40 million people. Of the Oromo.
Yep.
And so, is it like a church?
ስለዚህ እንደ ለምሳሌ ክርስቲያን ሲባል ሰው ሁሉም እሑድ አንድ ቀን ከሳምንት ወደ ቤተክርስቲያን ይሄዳል። ግን በዋቃ ጉራቻ ላይ የሚያምን ሰው ለምሳሌ ወይ ቤተክርስቲያን አለው ወይ መጽሐፍ ነገር አለው በምንድነው የሚሄደው የሚያምነው?
ይሄ ነገር ቶፊክ ነው፣ ከጥንት የመጣ ሚስጥር ነው እና በመጽሐፍም ተጽፎ እንደ መጽሐፍ ቅዱስ ማለት ነው ልትገልጸው ማችለው ይሄ የራስህ የምታምነው እምነት አለ አይደል? የማይታይ ነው፣ የማይዳሰስ ነው።
There is a good point here. So there is a place, any places that you sit underneath is made by the black god. The trees itself is made by black god, and then anytime you can stop and ask your god whatever you want to the Wagaguracha, and then so it has no written book or it has nothing. So the book is written in a person, he says. They're supposed to have a person. So this is spiritual that passes person to person, from a father to the son, to the son to his child to his child. And you cannot write about it.
You can't write about it, okay.
Yes.
Daughters included, the girls included.
The girls
pass
included.
Down to the daughters, right?
Yes, the girls included.
So there's no book. How do the people know right from wrong?
Right or wrong?
How do they know, how do a person knows to do right or when not to do wrong? If there's no book to guide, to tell you, don't do this, don't do that. Like the Christians have the 10 Commandments. Don't kill, don't steal, don't. How does the people, the Oromo people, what are their laws and commandments? Do they have laws and commandments?
There's laws and commandments.
ስለዚህ
ለምሳሌ አንድ ሰው ጥፋት ቢያጠፋ ወይም ለምሳሌ በኦሮሞ ዋክል ላይ አንድ ልጅ የሆነ የማይገባ ነገር ቢያደርግ እንደዛ አታድርግ፣ ይሄን አታድርግ የሚል እንትን አለው፣
ስርዓት አለው። አሁን በአባ ገዳ አካሄድ ስትሄድ እንዴት ነው በዚህ በኦሮሞ ባህል አንድ ሰው ነፍስ ያጠፋል። ነፍስ ካጠፋ በኋላ በሽማግሌ በአባ ገዳዎች ማለት ነው እርቅ አለ። እርቁን ግን ወይ ቤት ውስጥ አይደለም እንዲህ አይነት አድባር ላይ ሆነ ነው እርቁ።
እሺ ጂጋ ያዙ። So there is a commandment. The commandment is, for example, if some guy kills someone and then the answer ሰው መግደል የለበትም ያኛው
ሰው መግደል የለበትም።
አንዱ ሲገል if somebody killed someone, so he needs judges. So the judges will come around the shade of the trees, and then that person, where maybe kill him by anger, kill him, he was been stealing something, and then he killed him right away. So the person, the one who killed, you don't kill and answer that. So rather than killing that person, also you have to bring him to the trees, to the elders, and then you give him punishment. ምን የሚሆን ቅጣት ነው የሚሰጠው?
እና እንዴት ነው እንደ ወንጀሉ እንደሰራው ወንጀል ማለት ነው የሚቀጣውን ይቀጣና በሽማግሌዎች ፊት
በምን አይነት ቅጣቱ ምን አይነት ነው
ይባባላሉ።
ቅጣቱ ምንድነው?
ቅጣቱ የገንዘብም ይሁን ወይ ደግሞ ጉማ የሚባል ነገር አለ።
ጉማ okay. So the punishment will be you. So the elder's name is Gada, Abagada.
There's only one elder.
Abagada, not one elder, more.
Okay.
Abagada are like the chiefs of the villages.
Okay.
So they all will sit around, and then this is one of the biggest cases that you have done. So as a mistake. So they have to decide the punishment. Either magarafim ይችላል. Either you will be beaten by the the laser from the horses.
Yes.
Or laser from cows, but the wild animals, special one. So you will get heated by that one, or still you have to give him ከብትም ይሰጣል መሰለኝ።
ከብት ይሰጣል ካሳ ይክስና
so you have to also give to his family, the person you killed family. You get whipped plus you give him thousands of cows, and then you ask the guy's family for forgiveness. Then he say, okay, we finish it here, we forgive you.
ለመጪው ትውልድ ቂም እንዳይተላለፍ ማለት ነው።
So for the next generation, please do not keep that in your mind. This is bad things. Nobody has to do this. We forgive you, but make sure this history does not pass. It will be ended here.
Do y'all get the local police officers involved in your communities?
No.
You don't?
No, this one is not. There's a policeman የለበትም በባህላዊ ስነ ስርዓት ላይ. There is no police. There is only Abagada.
So y'all have no
even the government today.
The government,
even the government today is not above the Abagada, the system.
Okay.
The Oromo, the Abagada system. The prime minister, even including the prime minister, he has to come to the Gadas, and then he have to ask them permission before, if less traditionally, if something happen in the village. So the prime minister has to call the Gada people, which are the king's families. So he negotiate with them before catching that person.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to continue on part 2 in the conversation of the Black God, if you will. So,
no, do you say Wakaguracha?
Wakaguracha.
Yes.
Wakaguracha. I want to say the Black God because
Black
God. You were saying that the people see God not only as themselves, but they being black. But that when they see God, that it is that not necessarily an image. Can you like to explain that just real quickly?
Yeah, explain an image. God is, no one has never seen a God.
Yeah.
God is a spirit. So as from my perspective, my belief, it's God is black. That's what I can say confidentially.
Well, not you, the Oromo people.
The Oromo people also, but in my culture also, I believe that God is black.
Okay. And so we know that you had mentioned that 2,000 years ago, longer than 2,000 years, this has been around, and it's over 40 million Oromo in Africa.
In Africa.
In
fact, also including Kenya. In Kenya also there is Oromo.
Yeah.
Ethiopia is also main homeland.
Yeah.
But partly Kenya, north part of Kenya is Oromo also.
Yes. Okay. So let's get into the next questions. My next question is, you made mention that a person can talk with God. Can a person hear from God?
Yes.
Yes.
Can a person hear from God?
Yes.
While he's sitting next to the trees?
Yes.
In a silent place. So while you can make your own smokes around, you can make incenses. Incenses just come from the trees. It's not something very special. It just comes from the trees, and you have to make your own charcoal there. And then while smoking, you can sit down alone, and spiritually, you can talk to God, and God can talk to you.
Okay.
He will tell you what to do, what to not. So then you can talk straight away to God.
Okay. So ask my brother here, what is the purpose of the incense? And why does it have to be next to a tree?
Okay. ኢጣን እዚህ ጋር ይጨሳል አይደል? ኢጣኑ ለምን ይጨሳል? ሁለተኛ ደግሞ ለምን ዛፉ ጋር ሆነ? ትልቅ ዋርካው ጋር ለምን ሆነ?
ዋርካ ጋር የሆነበት ምክንያቱ ኦሮሞ ከጥንት ሲወርድ ማለት ነው። አድባር ስርና ዋርካ ስር ሆኖ ነው እግዚአብሔርን የሚለምነው። አሁን ለምሳሌ ዝናብ ቢጠፋ ወጥተው የሀገር ሽማግሌዎች እርጥብ ሳር ይዘው ሲለምኑ እዚህ ቦታ ወዲያውኑ የራቀው ዝናብ ይመጣል። ያ የእርቅ ሚስጥር ነው ማለት ነው።
Okay. So the reason why there was incense next to the tree is, let's say there is no rain for years. For example, a drought come up. So then the Oromo believe is that the God is angry with us because we are not doing what he wants. So then whole men and women has to collect incense from trees and then please our God, give us a rain. We are missing rain. Our cattle are dying. We are dying and we need the water. So all have to make an incense around and then in a belief the God smells good out of it. So that everyone brings the incense around next to the trees and they smoke it, the rain will become. So that's when you want to ask something to God, you have to bring the incense, you have to make a smoke around, and then you have to ask for the rain or for anything that you want, which is missing.
It has to be a tree.
It has to be a tree.
Does it have to be a certain tree?
ዛፎች ሁሉም ስር መሆን አለበት ወይስ የተለያየ?
እሱም የተመረጠ ነው። ለምን ይሄ ሾላ ነው። እንደና ደግሞ ባህር ላይ ነው ያለው። ባህር አጠገብ ነው ያለው። የእግዚአብሔር ቃል ራሱ ተገለጸ የሚባለው በመጽሐፍ ቅዱስ ስትሄዱ በባህር ላይና በተራራ ላይና በዛፍ ስር ነው።
Okay. So always spiritually, even he says in the Bible also, word.
The Bible.
He's saying that.
He's saying what?
በመጽሐፍ ቅዱስም ብላል።
They read the Bible.
በመጽሐፍ ቅዱስም ራሱ የእግዚአብሔር ቃል በባህር ላይና
መጽሐፍ ቅዱስ አንብባል።
መጽሐፍ ቅዱስ አንብባለሁ።
He said yes, he has read in the Bible.
Okay. They read the Bible.
Yes, he
said. Do they follow the Bible?
ግን አትከተልም።
እኔ ያው በቤተሰብ በሃይማኖት ኦርቶዶክስ ነን። ግን በኦሮሞ ሴራ ስትሄድ በገዳው ይሄንንም ነው ያንንም ብትከተል ምንም ተቃውሞ የለው።
Okay. So a man can be also he said most of his families are the Orthodox. And then on top of that still in their belief and Oromo belief, everyone is following the black god. And then they think even what he says some places in the Bible he says God is spiritual comes through the trees. This is what he's saying.
Okay.
So through the trees God talks to you, he says.
Okay.
And then there is particular trees, not every trees.
Which tree?
Oda tree. Oda no የሚባለው ዛፉ? Oda tree.
An older tree. Oda is the name of the tree.
Yeah, mostly they are old also, but Oda, the specific name is Oda.
Okay. Do they believe that there's one God or other gods? And if there are other gods, is there a God for black people? Is there a God for white people?
ስታስበው ብዙ አምላክ ያለ መሰለህ ወይ ነጭ እግዚአብሔር አለ ብለህ ታምናለህ?
እኔ አላምንም። ምን አይነትም እንደሆነ አላውቀውም።
I don't know about the white God, but I know the black God.
Yes.
But he does not know about the white God.
Okay. What is their belief in how did God make the earth, make the universe? Do they have knowledge of that?
ምድር ማን እንደፈጠረ ወይም ሰማይ ምን እንደሆነ ምን አይነት ሐሳብ አለ በዚህ ላይ ምን አስተያየት አለ?
ምድርንም ሰማይንም የፈጠረ አንድ እግዚአብሔር ነው። ኦሮሞም የሚለምነው አንድ እግዚአብሔር ነው።
And Oromo's God is one God. In Oromo's one God. And this earth belongs for him, and the sky belongs for that God.
For the one God.
For one God.
Okay. Let's see here. How do the Oromos receive their knowledge of things around the world, things that are supposed to be in the future? Is there things written down like the Bible that they kind of follow?
እንደ ለምሳሌ መጽሐፍ ቅዱስ አለ አይደል? እንደ መጽሐፍ ቅዱስ የሆነ የተጻፈ ነገር አለ ስለዚህ ስለ ኦሮሞ ገዳ ስነ ስርዓት ወይም ስለ ሬቻ ስነ ስርዓት የሚገልጽ ነገር ምን ይባላል?
የተጻፈ መጽሐፍ አለ ራሱ የገዳን ስርዓት እስከ አፍሪካ ሀገሮች የሚናገር ተጽፎ ይወጣ አለ።
Okay. Even I don't know about this, but he says that there is a book explaining you about Wagaguracha, Abagada. Abagada is the king system of the Oromo, which every 8 years the king will be changed. The king will be changed. It's not election. It's not some people has to do demonstration. The first king giving his power to the second king without fight, without any problem. So there is a one book. He says which all contains about this culture in one book. So you can find in several African countries, like in Tanzania, like in Kenya, also in many in South Africa. Also you can find in bookstores.
What's the name of the book?
መጽሐፉ ስም ምን ይባላል?
ያው በአባገዳ እንትን ታትሞ የወጣ መጽሐፍ አለ።
It's called Abagada.
Abagada. Okay. What does that mean?
Abagada is the kings of the Oromo.
Okay.
Yeah. Kingdom of Oromo, sorry.
Okay. What is the belief after you die?
ስትሞት መጨረሻ ላይ ምን የት ሄዳለሁ ብሎ ያምናል ኦሮሞ?
ወደ ፈጣሪ እንደሚሄድ ያምናል።
Goes to the God.
You go to the God.
Yes.
Is there a heaven or in a hell?
የት ይሆናል? ሲኦል ነው የሚሆነው ወይስ ሰማይ ነው የሚሆነው? የት?
እሱን ደግሞ የእግዚአብሔር ፍቃድ
እግዚአብሔር he doesn't know where it exactly is going, but once you die, you are die.
You go to the God.
You go to the God.
Yes.
But exactly it's hell or heaven.
They don't know.
They don't know about
this. They don't talk about that.
Yes.
You just go back to God.
Yeah.
Do they have any writings on? Do they know certain things about God? How, like the ways of God?
ስለ ዋቀፋታስ መንገዶች ምንድን ናቸው?
እነሱም ያው እንደዚሁ ነው።
እንዴት ነው?
በአባገዳ ውስጥ ማለት ነው። ወቀፍ ብቻም የሚያምኑት አንድና አንድ ነው ብለው የሚሉት ግን ከዚህ ተጓዳኝ ነገር የለውም። ሂደቱ ማለት ነው ተጓዳኝ የለውም። እዚህ መጥተው ጥብሳር ይዘው ይለምናሉ። ወይ ላጫጭሱ ይችላሉ ወይ ደግሞ እንዴት ነው ጫት ላይ ቆሙ ይችላሉ።
ጫት ላይ ቆሙ ይችላሉ። Okay. So the people will be come together here one of the days and then they will have to chewing chat. You know chat?
No.
You haven't seen it. It's a kind of a green leaves that they will chew together and then they will say that they won't explain to each other, but they will just know in secretly by themselves. They don't want to that explain to anyone.
So God reveals itself to each individual.
Each individual. Separately.
Is God a he, a she, or what?
እግዚአብሔር ሴት ወንድ ይሁን ምን ነው ብለህ ታምናለህ?
በእግዚአብሔር እንግዲህ በሱ ወንድ እንደሆነ ነው እኛ የምናውቀው የፈጠረ
male.
Why male?
ለምን ወንድ ነው ብለህ ታስባለህ ይላል?
ከአያት ከቅድማታችን ሲመጣ አይወልድም አይወለድም ይላል ቃሉ ራሱ።
So he said God can't marry. God cannot marry. God cannot have a wife, or that's what we've been live it with it. So God has no wife, no. If he's not a woman, he's a man. So he's never have a wife. He's never have children.
Right.
That's it.
Okay. If they say he's a man, not man, excuse me. If you say that God is a he, why do they say he's a he? It's a spirit. So how does they say a spirit is a he?
So መንፈስ ከሆነ መንፈስ እንዴት ወንድ ወይ ሴት ወይም ለምን ወንድ ሆነ ይላል?
እሱ እንግዲህ ሚስጥር ነው።
That's the biggest secret that no one will understand.
Okay. Okay. I understand that.
He said that's what he says. That's the biggest secret that nobody will understand.
Okay, so coming to the conclusion of this, and what I'm gathering, is that this, how we say the name again? Waka Guracha, the Black God. It is it's a powerful source, a force that exists, that man in their quiet meditative state, being next to a tree, giving up frankincense unto the God, to be able to have a good aroma, you can have conversations with the God, the Black God.
ስለዚህ ከዋቃ ጉራቻ ጋር ቁጭ ብለህ ዛፍ ስር ካወራ ለምሳሌ ምስጢርን ሁሉ ነገር ማውራት ትችላለህ። የሆነ ፊሊንግ ይኖራል።
የራስ የሆነ እንትን ይኖራል። የምትጠይቀው ጥያቄ አለ። ያ ጥያቄ ሲመለስልህ ይሄንን ነገር በሚስጥር ይዘህ ነው የምትጨርሰው። ለምን ለሁሉም የማትነግረው ነገር ነው። የራስ ሚስጥር ነው። የታመመ ሰው መጥቶ ሲድንታ ያለ
there's a secret things that you want to ask God. For example, anything that, for example, like you have some special disease, or you have something missing in your life, even somebody sick from your life, and you can bring him up, and while you leave him alone, and you can see that he's been healed immediately, and he is better before. And then also with your questions, when you come up, you can feel at that moment when you get answer, something will come to your mind and tells you that its thing is done. So you go and see it in practical.
Can I pray to God or talk to God in my house, on the job, walking in the trails? I mean, or do I have to be by a tree?
በዋቀፈታ ስነ ስርዓት መሰረት በየቤቱ ወይ በየእንትኑ መጸለይ አይችልም። ዛፍ ስር መሆን አለበት።
በአመት መልካ ነው የምትወጣው። በአመት መልካ ይወጣል፣ ይለመናል እና ሬቻ አርጋት
once in a year. You cannot go to every time. You have to go a special day. For 1 year you have to go. You can go separately by yourself next to the trees anytime, but there's a special ceremony day which is called Irecha. That day you have to bring, please give me a peaceful year for my cows, for my children, for my farm, for my camels and everything. Once in a year you have to bring a grass, fresh grass with the flowers, with the yellow flowers, and together, and you have to once that line anywhere where is a river or lake, you have to put it and say mindabar mibalo ሬቻ ውሃ ላይ ደግሞ ሲነካ እርጥብ ሳለ አድርገው ምንድን ነበር የሚባለው?
እዚህ እርጥብ ሳሉን ይዘመታ ሬቻ ነው የምታደርገው። ያው ሬቻ ነው።
ሬቻ you do ሬቻ።
Okay.
ሪፋና ይባላል።
Okay. Well, thank you very much for the answering my questions.
Say Galatoma.
And family, just want to bring you this here that I found very interesting. And as you can see, the videos that I've put up, a huge celebration and festival with millions, he said over 40 million people who believe in the Waka Guracha, the Black God. And very interesting to see how they worship and how they gather together in oneness and talking with God, or even separately. So I thank you again.
Galatoma.
This is your man,
Not your boy.
Go black to
Africa.
Africa.
Think about it.